Welcome back to Sports Connection. Lauren Floyd joining Brian Webb as always to round out the month of December as well as 2023. And we have some really big news in high school football because what, Brian?
The Bowling Green Purples have won yet another state championship. I believe it's their 8th title, and man, they've been to a lot of championship games, and it's pretty amazing.
Well, we're going to take things over to Kroger Field for that matchup. It was a big show. It was raining. It was harsh weather. I mean, it's definitely an atmosphere you don't necessarily want to play in for a state title game, but that makes it fun. That's what makes it fun. The ground's wet, the ball's wet. Anything can happen. And Bowling Green, I mean, they started off really strong in this game. I mean, they were up 14-0 at one point. Cooper did score, but they ended up taking a 21-7 lead at the half, taking the game 28-14. Bowling Green, I know they're excited. I mean, they started the year 1-2, and they have just ran through everybody since then. They finished the season 12-3. Just a great season for them. I mean, they've been through a lot of adversity with injuries, just like everybody goes through a lot of things during the year, and they've really had some guys step up whenever they needed to, and they pretty much dominated their way through the playoffs.
Yeah, they started the season off, and a receiver that they were counting on,
Right.
being a huge part of the team wasn't going to be there.
Right.
And then some injuries here and there, but guys like Matthew Klein and some other guys have stepped up big. But when you got a guy like Trevi Barber,
I know,
on offense, I mean, Deuce, he's so good at what he does, and he very minimal mistakes.
Right.
And that's some coaching, that's some natural talent. But they had the right chemistry, they had the right mission this year to get it done, and I'm sure Spader's very thankful for. I think this is his second as a head coach. He's got some other rings as an assistant, so that's got to feel great. Some people say you do it once, okay, but you do it twice.
I know.
And that's going to stick. But these Purples, man, they played hard all year. I think with the addition of some, like a Nicarius Fant there helping coach this year, those kind of things.
Right.
They got Seabolt over there. They got a really good staff. So when you put all that together with the talent that they do have at Bowling Green, good things are going to happen. And, when you got a guy that can do that right there out of the pocket like Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he had it at the very first touchdown of the game. I mean, him being able to scramble and avoid the sack and then find a wide open man downfield. There's not many high school quarterbacks that can do that, or quarterbacks in general. I mean, that just speaks to how highly talented that Deuce Bailey is. I mean, he got MVP for a reason for 5A. And he's going to be back next year, as well as a lot of these other guys. I mean, they're all going to be returning. So it's a lot to look forward to for this Purples football team, especially heading into the next year.
We got to think about it, playing here in our area against this competition that's, it's upper level already. It
Right.
helps these kids when they do get the chance to play on the big stage. That stuff bodes well. And, as a coach, I would want to play, in this area against this good competition. That's whether it's in class or out of class. So and that's why Spader does that. He puts a tough schedule together for times like this. Great job. 8th state title for the Purples.
We're going to move things over to the hardwood. Earlier this week, Western was back at home after playing in the Northern Classic up in Canada over the holiday weekend. They were taking on Campbellsville, came up with a big win, 101-77. There were 6 guys in double figures in this game, including the one who led them off the bench, Christian Lander. He had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. A big showing there. They also, as you can see in this, honored Malachi Corley as he is now the all-time leading receiver for Western Kentucky football.
Gonna miss him, but we'll get to see him again. We'll talk about that later.
Right, so speaking of that, we are officially, Western is going to be playing in the Famous Toastery Bowl for their bowl game in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Toastery, you say?
That game is going to be December 18th. It is a Monday, and kickoff is going to be 1:30 Central Time on ESPN for that game, and they're going to be taking on old Conference USA foe Old Dominion.
Yeah, I think we lead them like 6-1 all time.
I think we played 7 times in total.
Old Dominion, though, not a bad team. It'll be a fun game.
Yeah,
but
they're
I think
6-6. We're 7-5. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be similar match teams, but I think we got a big edge, and I don't know what the spread will be. But I will be taking the Hilltoppers. I can go ahead and
I
tell
will
you that.
be as well. And then just to kind of wrap us up here before we get into some interviews, talking about some basketball, finish with the top 4 teams for the college football playoffs. We have Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama in that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm very surprised that Georgia lost
Right.
because I didn't expect that to come. But then I thought even if they did lose, that they would probably
Still
get in there. But Texas being in there, kind of, I get Washington. Michael Penix Jr. He's special, and Bo Nix had a great season. But that's how these things pan out sometimes. But I don't know. It's tough.
It's going to be interesting.
Nobody's ever going to be completely happy about it.
No, they're not. But hey, some teams, no matter what you are, they're going to show up whenever it matters, and that's what matters in the end. So I guess we're going to see within the next month of
Hook 'em horns.
who's going to take it. But whenever we come back from the break, we're going to kick things off with the Russellville Lady Panthers girls basketball squad.